This is Rukadowski of WeAreChange.org right now in Sedona, Arizona, and a very beautiful place. We are here at the Anarcho Zona event, another kind of hippie anarchist event that's springing up and being copycatted all over the world. There's Anarcho Portugal, there's Anarcho Philadelphia, a lot of events springing up from, of course, Anarcho Poco, the original kind of event that brings together a large number of free thinkers, independent media, and people who just think outside the box looking for important solutions, like one of my friends, Ernie Hancock of Freedom Phoenix. He's been around in this movement for a very long time. You've been doing a lot of incredible work, pretty much about decentralization, pretty much about liberation of information and freeing people with, of course, solutions. And I think I'm going to do a new kind of video, kind of, how would you even call this? Like an interview where I just interview some of my really close friends and call it Problem, Reaction, Solution. Bring up to you three of those questions. What's the biggest problem? What's the reactions? What's the solutions to it? What can we all do together in some kind of new category, new playlist that I still haven't decided, but I like this idea. Ernie, what's one of the biggest problems out there that you think is that humanity is facing?
Knowing where the problem originates. We just had, right before we came out here, a woman that was one of the speakers from, I think she was from Kiev, and she said, is there a legal thing? Is there something I can tell my daughter? Is there one line? Is there a certain amendment? Is there something you can say to the man and he's going to leave you alone? Probably not, but it's us. All the years I've been doing this, what I realized is that it's us. We're the problem. And we just keep thinking somebody's going to fix it, and they're not. Jeff Borwick, he gave a really good presentation today, and pretty much the same thing. It's us. We got to fix ourselves, and then we'll take care of business.
Exactly. I mean, people always look to externalize the problems, always to shift blame, always to say, it's not me you are in a lot of ways. But again, the technological aspects I think are the most fascinating ones because they're developing so fast, and they do leave a lot of options for peace, a lot of options for total liberation, but also a lot of options for total domination and total control with the government knowing every aspect of what you're doing. You're working on a very similar project with James Corbett. You told me about this project. I'm also down to what you're doing. Give us kind of hints into this project that you're working on.
The main thing that I realized was that there was going to be. Should I be looking at the camera?
Doesn't matter. Just whatever feels comfortable.
The main thing that I realized is that those want to make sure, the ones who won't leave us alone, they want to make sure that you're not private. They want to know everything that you're saying to somebody for something, or you're a terrorist, okay? But then the other thing that we've seen over the last months has been they don't want you to be public either. They want you to be government propaganda approved. That's what they want you to be, because what's happened is all the stuff that you've done, James has done, James Corbett from the Corbett Report. We got Luke Rudkowski, We Are Change, Richard Grove, Tragedy and Hope, Dan Dix, Press for Truth, Josh Segerson, John Simmons from World Alternative Media, Derek Brose, the Conscientious Resistance. So, I mean, all of this is the internet, and Freedom's Phoenix and Pirates Without Borders all declare your independence and the stuff that we do. So I understood what the problem was. They want you to be, they know everything that you're saying, doing, and thinking, and they want to control you. Well, they want to control what you share with other people, and you sure as hell aren't allowed to influence what they're saying and thinking. So that's what has been the problem. They don't want you to be private, and they don't want you to be public and out there forever and always with the ideas that we have, the great interviews that Luke has done, the great videos that all these other guys have done. So what we did is we go, all right, we need to be able to have stuff that forever internet. Well, interplanetary file sharing, IPFS, everybody take a drink whenever I'm on the show. Everybody, oh, there he goes. And Luke, he's like, oh no, here comes Ernie. He's going to say IPFS. So take your shot. Well, the reason is because when that came out, as a few years ago, Derek Slopey from Agorist Hosting is our IT department. And he comes in, he says, Ernie, everything that you're talking about, this IPFS, I think it's going to be able to do it. And I wanted immutability of data. So I'm going, and I'm thinking of Luke and James and all these guys. where can we put their stuff that it's always available? Well, IPFS allows for that, but what I didn't know is that the same people that created that, to where you have nodes that have, we are putting it on full nodes with all of our information, and then as each one of us add, it syncs up. So you have a bunch of computers around the world that have the full list of all of us constantly being added to. Well, anybody else can join. You know, fans of Luke, the Corbetteers, subscribers to Freedom's Phoenix. We already have some people here. I got an old laptop, Raspberry Pi, $150 for 3 terabytes of storage now. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to become the internet. So, but it adds another thing. You can also have networks that you do with your families, so you can share photos. You don't have to be beholden to Facebook or the cloud of somebody's cloud, you know? So this is where we're going. We've already contacted some hacker spaces. We've put in some new tables and equipment that I have. I ordered a bunch of Raspberry Pis, got a bunch of old computers. We're rocking and rolling starting Monday, because we've already done it. Derek has done the stack, and we just finished this last week loading all of James Corbett on the IPFS.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be Luke.
Well, that's a lot of videos because, again, as we keep saying, the evolution will not be in your timeline. There's no reason these multinational monopoly technocratic corporations will want to give you information that goes against their, of course, monetary incentives. And, of course, a lot of things we do is pretty much teach you how to be independent, give you information that you won't get anywhere else, that is not controlled, that is not limited. And every day we have to live in fear that our channel is going to be completely deleted, because there's a number of us that already have been either completely deleted or de-incentivized with demonetization and algorithm changes that literally stomp out any form of possible existence as an independent journalist. You look around the field, there's less independent media than there ever was before. Why is that? Because it's incentivized not to think freely, independently. They're making it look out there that these ideas aren't popular, and they are. These ideas are extremely popular. That's why we've seen independent media grow as vastly as it did. And then the controllers, the social controllers, the technocrats are like, wait, hold on. They're talking about stuff that we don't want them to know. They're talking about stuff that is going to piss it off our government buddies. They're pissing off our corporate buddies. They're the ones bringing us all the money. They're taking away all the money. They're trying to tighten the noose here. And this is why I really, like this idea, because it's decentralized. You're getting pretty much, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, a bunch of servers out there so people could kind of have this information so it could never go away. That's the biggest fear, because right now,
it's a node.
Like, look what's happening in New Zealand. Right now, the government will fine you if you have, the videos of that horrendous event, or if you read the manifesto. There's so much, control going on that it's absolutely terrifying, because, obviously they have some justifications that the public is agreeing with New Zealand. But again, the kind of form of manipulation and control with the public is just, of course, layering, because it starts with just something that a public would justify, and then it keeps pushing and pushing and pushing until it's something that is, of course, questioning the reality of the state or the government.
Oh, this is on so many levels. This was, it started with Operation Choke Point a few years ago, where they closed bank accounts of porn stars, gun manufacturers, payday loan people. They always go for the low-hanging fruit, who they think they can get away with. And when they did that, I'm going, this is demonetization in every form. If you take the man's money, that's where crypto comes in. But it's more than that. It's we're going to have to be self-funding in the community, that we have to, and that's one reason why I wanted to do this, because Freedom's Phoenix has been 15 years. It's like 300-something thousand headlines, and it's a good chronology by category and so on. It's a great reference, and I wanted it for the future, saying, because you could see no matter what the hell they were trying to tell you was the truth, and news speak that they're coming up with, and the memory hole of this. We're living 1984, the jackboot on our face. So but I don't want to get mad. I want to get glad. So what we did is, I go, what they really want is they want only authorized speech. That's what's going on. And what Luke and James and Richard and Dan and and Sean and all this stuff that we're doing, and Derek, it has been amazing that they target exactly this type of message. And what it is it's what diminishes the state in our minds and the minds of other people, because they just suck. Well, they don't want that, and sure as hell not from people that do it really well. So these are the first guys to get platformed, so it never goes away. Okay?
And you have to understand, they view this message, they view just this conversation as a serious threat. They started going after us before they went after the radical Islamists, before they went after the people who exploit and use children on the platform. And we're out there being like, hey, they're targeting us. Meanwhile, all these other crazy, insane people are using this platform and they're perfectly fine with it. And then we had Apocalypse 1.0, 2.0, and this is going to continue on and on and on again until we start waking up. So in short, Ernie, problem, reaction, solution, what is it? Name those three and tell us where people could find you.
You know, the problem, as far as what we're focusing on here, the problem has been you're not allowed to think or share your thoughts with others and, create an awareness or an enlightenment of what can be next. You're not allowed to even imagine it. That's the danger. Imagination, just imagining the difference. So I'm going, okay, the reaction to them is, for them is that to stop the freaking imagination. You don't have science fiction at the grocery store anymore. You're not allowed to think about these things. You're getting social justice warriors and all your favorite, movies and so on. You think this about that and not, being empowered as individuals that aren't, based on some identity politics and blah, blah, blah. So that's a reaction. And they're so reactive that you can see that we're over the target, so we're getting a lot of flack. And the solution is ignoring them. That's one thing I just drives me nuts. They're going, well, we got to get Zuckerberg and Facebook and Google under control with the government. We're going to pass a law and they have to. And all the guys going, well, they got it. We're a public forum of they blah 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 blah. I'm going, screw them. Now all you got to do is just bypass them, replace them, make them obsolete. And technology is there to do it. And that's what we're doing. We're using IPFS, and Filecoin was the same guys that did that, creating another software to be able to make proof of storage and dissemination of the data profitable. And I'm going, wow, that's cool, but we're not waiting because they got IPFS already. We're doing it. We'll put that other stuff on there later after we already got everybody platformed. Well, that's what we're working on right, not later.
Ernie, thank you so much. The link to your website will be in the description below, and just wanted to take a look at the nature here. Absolutely beautiful here in Sedona. Take a deep breath. There's a solution to the technocratic duopoly, globalist monsters who want to control your imagination and what you think. I can't believe I would be saying that. We're here. It's all about waking up and understanding the solutions are right in front of us. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are enjoying some of this nature. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.